Hi everyone, welcome back to Erica's Bead Creative. Today we are going to do the Flight of the Dragonfly bracelet kit. This is a real nice and easy kit that pretty much any age can do, and we're going to show you how to do that. So in your kit, you will receive your instructions. You'll also receive a button for your closure, a strand of check melon beads, and some 1mm leather. Now, this kit does come in different colors. It comes in the mint with the gold wash with a gold dragonfly button. It comes in the turquoise and honey with a silver button, which is what we're going to be doing today. It also comes in an indigo blue and a honey brown. So if you want to check out the kits, you can go to my website at www.ericasbeadcreative.com/kits, and you can see all of our kits online there. So what we're going to do is we're going to just cut open our beads. Kind of pull them off the strand so they're ready to go. And for this project, the only extra things that you're going to need that aren't included in your kit is some pair of cutters and some super new glue, which is also things you can order on our website. So what we do is we start off by getting your leather and getting the ends together, just like this. And this is going to give you where the center of your leather is. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put on our button, and you'll see here it has a little shank on the end. So on one strand or one end of your leather, you're going to strand the button, and you're going to take it all the way down to the center. Just keep pulling your leather so you can find that center. There we go. And you're going to take your leather and do just an overhand knot like this, bringing the two pieces of leather through the loop and guiding that knot all the way down as close as you can to your button. Now, as you can see with the finished one, there is a piece of leather that comes on the outside and one that goes on the inside of the bead, and then we knot. And then what we do is we switch which side of the leather is going through the bead and which side is going on the outside. So let's grab our first bead. And I'm going to start off using the left side of the leather. I'm going to put one of the melon beads on, through the hole. Let's see here, it's giving me a little trouble. If your leather does give you trouble, what you can do is cut that end just at an angle, and that'll kind of help you get through your bead. Slide that through, there it goes. Take it all the way down to your knot where you did just below your button. And then you're going to take the right side of the leather and wrap it around the side of the bead so it kind of frames the bead, okay? Then you're going to do another overhand knot, making a loop, pulling the two pieces of leather through the loop, and then gently guiding that knot all the way down to your bead. You can pull a little tighter so it's a nice tight fit. And then we go to your next bead. So we put the first bead on the left side. So now we need to go to the right side of the leather. Turning that around. So now you have your right side. Now you're going to put your bead on your right side of the leather. Bring it all the way down to your last knot. And then bring your leather over your bead. So it's on the opposite side of the bead that it was on your first bead. See that? And then you're going to do another overhand knot, making a loop, pulling your leather, your two pieces of leather through that loop, guiding it gently down to the bead. You do have to be slightly careful with the 1 mil leather because it is thinner, so you don't want to pull too hard that it'll break, because 1 mil will definitely break on you if you pull too hard. So now we have the outside leather here, so we know that we need to put our next bead on that side of the leather. Put it through your bead. Bring it down. Make your overhand knot through the loop and gently guide your knot down to the bead. Now we're going to continue this pattern until we have almost long enough that it wraps around your wrist. So keep going, put your bead on. Some holes might be tighter than others, and you will definitely have enough beads, so you can always try another one or cut your leather again. Sometimes the end of the leather will get a little funky too, just because it's getting stressed to go through the bead, so you can always cut a little bit of that as well, so you have a stiffer leather needle to go through your bead. Bring your knot down. Get it nice and tight. And put another bead on. Bringing it down to the knot. And make another overhand knot. Now for an adult bracelet, we can see that on this one we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beads. Of course, if a child is making this, you want to just keep going around to see about how far you are around your wrist. So it looks like I'm about halfway, which makes sense because I'm at 5 beads. Put another bead on. This one's a little tougher. Pull that through and make your overhand knot. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put another bead on. Put the leather through your bead. Pull it down. Wrap that side around. Make another knot. That's 7. Next bead on. Nice and easy, right? It makes a cool look by wrapping it around the bead. It gives it a little more texture. Bring it down, that's 8. And our last bead should be our last bead. This is the 9th bead. Wrap your leather around and bring it down. If one of your sides of your leather seems to be poking out a little bit, you can just give each piece of leather a little bit of a tug, one at a time, and that'll straighten that out. So now let's see here. I'm still a little short. It's probably because if you do your knots pretty tight up against each other, that will affect the length of the bracelet too. So I think I did this one a little bit tighter, so I'm going to do another bead. Bring it down, make your knot. Okay, let's measure that again around my wrist. Looks like I still need one more. So we put another bead on. And if you get confused on which side you're supposed to be putting your bead on, just look at your last one. So the leather's on the outside on this one, so we know that that's the side I need to put the next bead on. Make your loop. Nice and easy. Bring that knot down. And now I should be pretty close. You don't want to do it all the way around because you still need your space for your button loop. And that looks pretty good for me. So I'm going to stop there, and then I'm going to show you how you make your button loop. Let's move these beads out of the way. So the best way to figure out what size your buttonhole needs to be is by taking your button, placing it right in between your pieces of leather, just like that. So you have a piece of leather on either side of your button. And then you want your button to be able to go through comfortably, but not so loose that it could fall off your wrist. So right about here is where I want my knot, right about here. So I'm going to let that button loose. I'm going to make my overhand knot, not moving my fingers, so the knot will go in the place where it's supposed to be for the button. Keep your finger right there so you know where to guide that knot. See, so I have my button loop right here. I'm going to just straighten this little knot out a little bit. And now I'm going to test it. I'm going to open that loop and put my button right through. So it's a good size. There we go. So now, if your button loop is too small or too big, we haven't glued any knots yet, so you can always undo that knot, very carefully. Just pull the pieces of leather. You can also use tools like a chain nose plier to just kind of gently grab that out. Actually, I think my button loop was a little loose, so I'm going to undo my knot. Measure my button again. We want it right above the button. So you make your knot or your loop, pull your strands of leather through, guide it down to your finger, right above that button, and pull it tight. Okay, so test it one more time, put the button through the loop. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we just need to do some finishing touches. What I like to do with the ends of leather is I like to cut it at an angle just for it to look nice. Not too close to the knot, give it a little tail, something like this. And then you take your super new glue and you just give yourself a little dot of glue, especially on your knots towards the end and the beginning. Just want to make sure that those are secure. And it only takes just a little dot. Because this glue is fantastic. Once it's dry, there's no way that knot is coming undone. Just be careful because you can put yourself in a panic if you glue your fingers a little too much. You can get it off. Nail polish remover is one of the best ways to get the adhesive off. And then we just let that dry for a second. Super new glue pretty much takes just about a few minutes to fully dry. And there you go. You have your Flight of the Dragonfly bracelet. Don't forget to shop all of our kits online at www.ericasbeadcreative.com/kits. I hope you enjoyed this project and you have a great day. Happy beading.